Hey friends, this is Karen for Blue Rooster Farm, and today we are going to be making Frappuccinos. Now, we're not just making one flavor, we're going to make 3 delicious flavors. And if you're not a coffee fan, hey, that's okay. These don't have to have coffee in them. They are great without the coffee. And your children will love them too. So if you're interested in these 3 better than Starbucks Frappuccinos, stick around. The first Frappuccino we're making is pumpkin spice, and it's delicious. So I'm taking some cubes of frozen milk. I just did this the night before and used 2% milk. You can use whatever kind of milk you'd like. Then we're going to take some pureed pumpkin. Now, if you purchase it in the can, do not get the pumpkin pie filling. You want just the plain pumpkin. And I had mine preserved in the freezer from last year. That's how I preserve mine. And so mine's a bit frozen. You're going to take about 3/4 cup. You can add more. You can add a nice big cup if you like a really pumpkin-y flavor. I just like mine kind of a mild pumpkin. Next, we're going to take a can of sweetened condensed milk, and we're going to put about half a can. If you want it less sweet, you can add less. If you want more sweet, you can add more. I find that just about half is good. And this is going to make a big batch of pumpkin spice frappuccinos. So this is not just one serving. This is 4 nice servings. Then we've got about a cup of cream. And we're going to get all that in there. Now, this one I am not going to make with coffee. If you want to put coffee in yours, this is the time to do that. You can use espresso, you can use some cold iced coffee, any kind that you want. Just go ahead and put it in there. I do think you should have it cold, otherwise it's going to melt some of our frozen ingredients. And here I'm adding about a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. If you don't have pumpkin pie spice, you can add cinnamon, a little nutmeg, a teeny tiny bit of clove, a little ginger, and those are pretty much what makes up a pumpkin pie spice. I'm also going to throw in a dash of salt because, like a pumpkin pie, that will bring out the flavor, because this tastes like a really light pumpkin pie, and that salt will just bring out some of those flavors. And then we're going to add some vanilla. Now I have some vanilla paste here that I've made, and hopefully I'll be able to show you how I make that here soon. But you'll need about 2 teaspoons. You could add more if you like more vanilla flavor, and in fact I will be adding a little more. But we're going to add about 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and then we're going to put the lid on and we're going to blend it good. My blender has a setting for smoothies and frozen drinks, so I'm just going to put it on that and let it blend. It will blend for 1 minute. And then after a minute, we're going to check it and see what the consistency is. And I'm also going to take a taste test to see if it's the right flavors for me. And I think we're going to need to add just a little more ice to make it a little more frosty. And that was probably another cup to 2 cups of ice. And I'm also going to add a little more pumpkin pie spice, especially since I'm adding that extra ice. Now, if you're really wanting to make a really rich Frappuccino, you would probably not want the ice. It makes it a little bit weaker flavored, but it still makes it really good, especially if you're having it with coffee and you don't want it to be too rich. But I added a little more vanilla there as well, another teaspoon. So we're going to put the lid back on and we are going to give that another blend. Again, put it on the setting and blend it for 1 minute. And the minute is up. Let's take a look and see what we have. I can smell it right now, just looking at the video. I can smell it. It is so good. So we're going to pour it in a pretty cup. And it just pours nicely into that cup. And since we're going to make this drink look pretty with some whipped cream, it's so good with whipped cream on top. And then I've got some little leaves that are candy leaves, and we'll just sprinkle a few of those on just to make it look even nicer. But this you can, if it's thicker, you can eat it with a spoon. If it's thinner, drink it with a straw. And it is super delicious. If you like pumpkin pie, you're going to love this. So there is our first Frappuccino, and now we're ready for our second. Our next one is Peaches and Cream Frappuccino. And for this one, we are going to use frozen peaches. So if your peaches aren't frozen, I highly suggest that you freeze them so that you will get a more frozen consistency in your Frappuccino. So I have mine frozen probably about 4 cups. Then I'm adding a cup of cream. Get all of that cream in there. Again, make sure you have a high-powered blender. This is going to be a thick, icy drink. We're going to add a half a can of sweetened condensed milk again. And again, you can adjust that to more or less depending on your taste. If you are wanting to add coffee to this would be the time to add it. Again, I would use espresso or iced coffee, something cold, but we're going to keep ours without coffee. So we've got our sweetened condensed milk in there. Now we're going to add a couple of teaspoons of vanilla. I'm just using my vanilla paste, but equivalent amounts of regular vanilla, 2 teaspoons. Adding a little bit of almond is also really good in this recipe. So if you like almond, that would be really good in here as well. So I added about 2 cups of ice cubes there. And now we're going to set it on our 1 minute smoothie and frozen drink setting and let that blend up. Okay, it looks like it has come to a stop. Let's open it up and check it out. Give it a taste. And it tastes just right, so we are ready to pour it into our cup. And of course, we're going to have to make this one pretty too. So we get a pretty cup and we pour it in. And of course, we need whipped cream. And to top this one off, I'm going to use some of my homemade vanilla sugar, which is just a vanilla bean or 2 ground up whole with sugar. And it tastes absolutely marvelous. So this is just being sprinkled on the top for just that little extra bit. Put a straw in it, and here we have our peaches and cream Frappuccino. Delicious. Your whole family will enjoy this. And let's move on to our next one. Now to our last Frappuccino, but not our least. It is the strawberry cream Frappuccino. And this one is a wonderful one for the summertime, the spring, when those strawberries are coming ripe. Just stick those strawberries in the freezer on a sheet pan, freeze them, and pour them with ice into your blender. I've got about 2 cups, 1 to 2 cups of ice and about 4 cups of strawberries. Now we're adding a cup of cream. All of these ingredients are just simple ingredients, but boy, do they taste good when they are mixed together. We're going to clean that cream out of that measuring cup because we want to get every bit of it. We are also going to be adding to this one some sweetened condensed milk, again half a can. This does make a large amount. You can adjust that amount to your liking. And if you want to add coffee to this, I don't know why you would, but if you did want to add coffee, this would be the time to do it. Again, iced coffee or espresso, adding a couple teaspoons of vanilla. You could also add some almond flavoring if you wanted to at this point. And then I'm adding just a splash of milk because I do have a lot of frozen items in there. Those strawberries are frozen solid, and then of course that ice. Now if you wanted it to be richer, you could leave that ice out, but I kind of want it to not be quite as intense, and so I added the ice cubes. And now we're going to whir it up. And again, make sure you have a heavy-duty blender because it does need to go through all of this ice and frozen things. So we are going to blend it for a minute, and it is a thick Frappuccino at this point. Let's stop it and take a look. Make sure everything's down in there and mixed well. And we're going to continue mixing because there were some strawberries and ice at the top. So let's mix that about another minute. And let's open it up and see what we have now. Oh, that looks good. So we're going to take another pretty cup. We're going to pour our thick strawberry frappuccino into a glass. Again, you can thin this down by using some milk, half and half, cream, whatever you want. But we don't mind it being thick. This is really good. And we're going to pour it into our glass. And then, of course, we need that whipped cream. So we're going to get our whipped cream on there. Put a generous amount. And for this one, let's just take a frozen strawberry. We'll just stick a frozen strawberry on there. And isn't that pretty? That is such a refreshing, wonderful drink. All of your kids and the adults in your family will love it. It is one of our favorites in the summertime. So I hope you like this recipe and all the other Frappuccino recipes that I shared with you today. All three are good with or without coffee, and I hope you give them a try. Once again, if you like this video and want to see more, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. Also, don't forget to like and share this video. I hope you have a great week, and I hope to see you back here next time. Bye-bye.